Let's start our review of HTML forms with input fields. Before you learn how to make a complete form, it's better to start off with some of the basic elements of forms, and this is the most basic element. It's also probably the most used form tag, will be the input tag to create input fields. Input fields are going to be the heart and soul of your forms. Here I have 3 input fields corresponding to these 3 input tags in my code. There's the second input tag, there's the first one, here's the third one. Notice that there are some attributes that go along with the input tag. The type attribute will specify the type of input field you'll have. Possible choices are text, submit, and password. Let's go ahead and look at this form in the browser here, and you can see that I can enter in text or numbers in the text type of input fields, like so. Now if I change the type text to type password here for my last name input field, you'll see that the functionality changes. Let's go ahead and save this and refresh this in the browser. And now compare the text type of input field with the password. Now when I type in my last name, I just get this password feedback here. Another attribute is the ID or name. This assigns a name to the given field so that you can reference it later using CSS, for example, or using coding, ActionScript, or even HTML script. The name is the HTML 4.0 version. The ID is XHTML, and HTML5 requires the ID attribute there. The size sets the horizontal width of the field. The unit of measurement here is in blank spaces. So you'll notice here for my zip code, I've set my size to 5. So that'll give me the size of that zip code input box. I put 5 because that's the maximum number of letters that you can have for a zip code. The max length attribute dictates the maximum number of characters that can be entered. And you'll notice that although I have a little bit more space there, I'm hitting my numbers on my keyboard and it won't let me enter in any more than 5, because here for the zip code input field, I've set my max length equal to 5. That's good formatting, since you don't want to have any more than 5 numbers for a zip code. One tip for using your input forms is don't use the password feature for security purposes. The data in that password field is not encrypted and is not secure in any way. It just doesn't show if someone happens to be looking over your shoulder. Now this form also has radio buttons, another very important form element. So let me now move on to the next movie and introduce you to how to create radio buttons for your HTML forms.